Let's talk about flushing and how I'm addressing the yellowing issues my amethyst frost haze is going through. When in doubt, flush it out. That's exactly what I'm going to do right now. When you flush your plant, you want to run 3 times the volume of your pot through it. For example, if you're growing in a 3-gallon pot, you're flushing with 9 gallons of water. I know, it's a lot, but this process is essential for resetting a root zone and ensuring your plant gets back to absorbing nutrients properly. Here's how I do it. First, I turn off my AutoPot reservoir. Then, I suck out all the water from the base trays. For this step, I'm using my trusty Newt needle. But if you want to make your life easier, I recommend using a shop vac. It's way faster and makes easy work of sucking out all the water that's going to come out of this area right here. So I'm going to go and pour some of my Newt mix, 9 gallons that I have set up here is going to go on top of the pot, and that's going to run through the whole thing, and the bottom is going to have runoff, and I'm going to remove that runoff, and that's what's going to be the flushing. Okay, this is going to be continuously removing of runoff. This ensures like a root zone is thoroughly getting flushed out, and this is going to be quite a process. Flushing works by resetting a root zone back to 0, removing any salt buildup or nutrient imbalances that may have accumulated over time. Think of it like hitting a reset button for your plant's health. Salt buildup is a normal occurrence, especially depending on how you run your nutrients and how effectively your plant takes them up. It's kind of like the human body. If you eat in excess, your body stores in the fat reserves. Plants do something similar. They don't process all the nutrients right away, and over time, those leftovers accumulate in the root zone. Now, let's talk about some potential causes for the yellowing I've been seeing. The first possibility is salt buildup. While it's a normal part of growing, it can lead to nutrient lockout if not addressed, which could explain the stress on my plant and what it's showing. The second possibility is a pH imbalance. If you remember from my last video, I had to switch to a new RO system after my old one broke. While I waited for the replacement, I was using tap water. When that could have swung up in pH after a while in the pot, it's not a very stable source of water. It could be that. But what is something that could raise my pH this high to 6.65 when my input is 5.75? Well, it all goes back to something that happened last Saturday. I was very sick and was not paying attention to any of my plants. So when I woke up, I found my pot completely dried out. Not thinking much of it at the time, I re-watered and moved on. But that moment of letting my cocoa dry out might have caused a major imbalance in the root zone. When the cocoa dries out, it can lead to pH spikes, salt concentration, and overall stress for the plant. And there it is, that's the culprit. That dry spell threw my root zone completely out of whack, and it's been affecting my plant ever since. So after flushing with a full 9 gallons, I finally managed to get my runoff down to 6.2. It's still kinda not exactly where I'd like it to be, but I'll have it for now. Remember, when in doubt, flush it out. Don't be afraid to restart your root zone. It's better to restart and give your plant a fighting chance than to let the problems keep building. But that's not all, folks. Nope, there's still another culprit responsible for my yellowing, and we've got to hunt that fucker down.
Midnight, and the plants just dance. All the flowers take their chance.